Rajeshwari MJ. She pursued her BE in Electrical and Electronics at the People's Education Society College of Engineering, Mandya. She pursued her MTech in VLSI Design and Embedded Systems at the Sri Jagadguru Balagangadharanta Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Her personal skills lie in good verbal and written communication skills. Her areas of interest lie in OOPS with C++, renewable energy sources, HVDC transmission, digital relays, automotive electronics, advances in VLSI design. She has also had papers presented at the national level, such as the Innovative Architecture for SoC Multi-Core Hybrid Processor, presented at the RNSIT, Bangalore.
Welcome to UGC lecture series of BSc Physics Honours. Today we are dealing with the subject digital electronics. In this session we are going to discuss about sequential circuits. In the sequential circuits we are going to discuss about different types of sequential circuits, that is RS flip flop, level clocked and edge triggered flip flops, JK flip flops and master slave JK flip flop. Finally we discuss about D flip flop. These are the different types of sequential circuits. First of all, we need to know what do you mean by a sequential circuit. A sequential circuit is a logic circuit, have some form of inherent memory in it, built in it, and they are able to take into account their previous input state as well as those actually present. A sort of before and after effect is involved with a sequential circuit. From the figure we can observe that here in the sequential circuit we used a combinational logic block, and along with this and also we used a memory block. This will going to play an important role. In combinational circuit, what logical output will going to depends only on the current or present input, but in sequential it will depend on both present and also the previous state. So, for remembering the previous state we need to add another block, that is memory block. This will going to remember the previous state. So, this is what the difference between a combinational and sequential circuit. A block called memory circuit will be added here. The sequential circuit will going to depend on the present and also the previous state of a input. And also the why the word sequential comes here, it because here the inputs that we are going to give is one after the another, and the logical operation will going to perform one after the other combinations in the circuits, and the actual clock signal determines when things will happen next. So, one of the important things is in sequential circuits we are going to use clock. So, this clock will going to control when the circuit has to operate or when the input has to be enabled. So, whenever the clock is given, by that time only the circuit will going to operate and the logical operation will going to perform and we will get the output. So, and this sequential circuit can be constructed with the help of two types. One is combinational logic circuit where block will be there, that is what we are usually use, that universal gate or NAND gate or AND gate, whatever it is according to our application, and a memory circuit, that is like flip flop, latches and counters. That is what we are discussed in the upcoming slides. The memory circuits may be flip flops, counters or latches. So, next the important thing that we need to discuss in the next session is next slides is on flip flops. This combinational circuit we already discussed in the previous session. So, the very first type of sequential circuit that is having a memory block inside it, the memory we can say it as a memory circuit, that is RS flip flop. Here a flip flop is a bistable circuit. We know the bistable in the sense the both its output states are stable. It may be stays for low or high for a particular predefined period of time. So, until and unless we need to do some changes in the input, the output will remain in a low or high or stable state or quiescent state in a predefined time. So, that is why it is called as bistable circuit. And the RS flip flop is the most basic of all flip flop, and why it is having R and S here, because it is having a two type of output, that is one is reset or clear, also called as clear and set operation. This is we are going to discuss with the help of truth table later. When the flip flop is set, this defines actually the RS flip flop. When we are going to say the flip flop is an RS type of flip flop, in the sense when the flip flop is set, its Q output goes to a high state, and when it is reset or clear, it goes to the Q output goes to 0. When looking into the truth table, we can able to know that whether the flip flop is RS or JK or whatever, or D flip flop. So, the RS flip flop states that whenever the Q output is 1, and that state is called as set state, and whenever the Q output is 0, that state is called as clear or reset state. And also another output will be there, that is Q bar, that is a complementer of Q. In this slide we are going to discuss about the how we are going to construct the RS flip flop using a NAND gate, and how this NAND gate will going to operate. With the help of truth table we get to know. This is the representation, symbol of flip flop. This is a low, active low input. Here the bubble here in the input S and R indicates the active low input. That is why it is the flip flop, RS flip flop is here considered as active low RS flip flop. So, for very first case we consider here when the set is equal to and a reset is equal to 1. When the set is equal to 1 and reset is equal to 1 condition of the flip flop, it has no effect on the output state of the flip flop. Both Q and the Q bar outputs remains in a logic state they were in prior to this condition. So, what is Q here and Qn here and Qn plus 1 here is Qn is a present state. So, and Qn plus 1 is when we are going to input, after that what are the output that we get, that is called as a Qn plus 1 state. So, this is a Qn plus 1 represents the output, Qn represent the present state. So, when the S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, how this circuit will going to operate, let us see. Whenever Q is equal to 1, when S is equal to 1, we need to consider, we need to prove this state will be always true for Qn. So, whenever S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, we consider this is Qn. So, we do not know actually what is Qn, that are present state. So, present state, let us consider if Q is equal to 0 initially, if Q is equal to 0, what happened, this output is given to here, this also becomes 0 and this will be complement. So, if it is 0, this output will be 1. So, this is given to the S, one of the input of S. So, this will be 1. So, this is the initial state, and we know that this RS flip flop is constructed with the help of NAND gate. So, NAND gate of truth table we need to remember here. NAND gate means whenever both the inputs are high, we get a low output. So, this low will indicate will come out only when S and this two inputs of S and another input of this gate 1 will be 1, we will get 0. So, obviously, this will be 1 or whatever it is. So, this will be 1 or whatever it is. So, whenever the set is equal to 1, the normal operation that what we get is here, if Q we consider initially Q is equal to 0, this holds good. So, S is equal to R is equal to 1, the Q will be 0 if we consider this as a initial state. And also we can also prove that in another way, also prove if considering the Q is equal to 1 now. Considering Q is equal to 1, what will be the output? So, again we need to prove that for S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, Qn will be the state. So, here this is given to here, and again the complement of this 1 will be 0, this output is given here. So, 1, so 0 will be given to this. Again we need to consider when it is high, the output will be low, again this is considered 1. So, again we prove that for S is equal to R is equal to 1, then Q will be Q1, the whatever may be the present state, we consider if we consider 0 or if we consider 1. So, S is equal to R is equal to 1, we prove that Q is equal to Qn plus 1, that is what we consider as output will be Qn. So, this is proved from the two different combinations. Next we move on to another two types of operation mode. One is set and another one is reset. The set and reset operation here again proved with the same thing that what we discussed, considering the different combinations, that if we have in the truth table we already know that set if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, we get a Qn plus as 1, because here we need to consider that set is 0 in the sense because this is active low input, that is why if set is equal to 0 we will get a output 1 here. So, we will prove with the help of gates input here, giving S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. What will going to happen? The output state that what we found is Q will be Q1 plus 1 will be 1. So, this will be given to the input here and this will be 0 and this will be 1. So, this is what, so for combination 0 1 we will get the output as high, that is we prove with the help of operation mode. Next we move on to reset mode. Again this is also considered in the same manner with giving S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. The last will be the forbidden condition, that is it can't be happen, because if both the S and R is 0 0, if we consider S and R as 0, it tries to give the Q will be 1 and reset that Q bar will be also will be 1. So, this will not happens at the same time, because as we consider both input 0 0, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, and another two terminals will be of having a 0 0 input. So, that will going to give both the output as high. This will not going to happen. That is why it is called as a forbidden operation. Next we move on to RS flip flop with active high inputs. We need to consider only one changes here in the active high input, that is in the symbol there is no bubble, that is why it is active high input, and the operation in the logical diagram for the NAND inputs for S input to the NAND gate we have given a enable, that is a complementary input is given here also for complementary input, that is a NOT gate is added here, so that it can be converted as a active high input RS flip flop. So, from the truth table what we observe, active high in the sense for S set will be happen only when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, and reset will occurs only when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, and also the forbidden and no change state. The forbidden and the no change state will also interchanged. Here the no change state will have S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, and the forbidden occur at only S is equal to R is equal to 1. Next is a level trigger flip flop. In a level trigger flip flop, the output respond to the data present at the inputs during the time. So, the clock pulses is high here. So, whenever the output will respond to the data present the inputs during the time, the clock pulses is high or low, that is why it is called level triggered flip flop. So, whenever the clock is high it will going to perform the operations internally. So, this level trigger input will going to perform only with the help of controlled clock input. So, any change at the input during the time the clock is active are reflected at the output as per its functional table. When the clock signal is high, the two NAND gates are enabled and the S and R inputs are passed on to the flip flop inputs with the status complement. That is what, because we need to control the input. So, sometimes we do not want to work the circuits, the sequential circuit. By that time we can have a control input. This clock will going to have work as a control. So, whenever we do not want to work the circuit, we can disable. Whenever we want to work the circuit, we can enable with giving a clock input for the circuit. So, consider for instance when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. It will be passed on as 0 and 1, because respectively when the clock is high, whenever the clock is given high, the S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0 will be complemented, that is 0 and 1 will be the output. The two NAND gates produce a high. So, this will what will going to have work as this is also have low active low input, but the clock will be high, active high. So at their output irrespective of the S and R. So the clocked RS flip flop, that is with the active high inputs, that is what here with the help of clock we can observe here with the active high inputs, that is for the set state, that is 1. What will be going to happen with the 1 means this S, from the S input we can able to identify this is an active high input. The when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, the with clock high. So what we consider here, whenever the clock is high only the circuit will going to perform, and we already know with the symbol this flip flop is active high input. So S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0 will be the set state, and S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1 will be the 0 state. Along with that clock will be 1. So clock, whenever the clock will be 1, then only the circuit will going to operate as a active high inputs. That is what we observed from the clock inputs in the truth table. Whenever it is 0, it will going to occurs in the previous stage itself. Q is equal to clock is equal to 0, also it does not work anything. So it will be remain the present state, and whenever it is 1, it will going to works as a logical operation, will going to perform according to the function of a circuit. Next we move on to edge trigger flip flops. So in an edge trigger flip flop, the output responds to the data at the inputs only on low to high, that is positive triggered input we call as positive edge trigger. From low to high it is called as positive edge triggered, or high to low it is called as negative edge triggered flip flop. This transition of clock will going to helps in the operation of flip flops. So in the case of an edge trigger flip flop, of an edge detector circuit is used, that will going to transform the clock input into a very narrow pulse, that is of a very few nanoseconds. Here we can observe the clock is not directly given to the flip flop. Here the clock is given to the edge detector, and this edge detector will going to convert the clock pulse into a very narrow pulse of few nanosecond, that will be given to the flip flop. And if it is low to high it is called as positive edge trigger, and it is if it is high to low it is called as negative edge trigger. And positive edge triggered flip flop, and here what we observe from the figure is the positive edge trigger, in the sense that is how we represent with the help of clock pulse rising above, we indicate the arrow mark rising above, upward or high direction. If we mention like this, this will going to indicate the low to high. So positive edge triggered, this will be having a circuit like this, positive edge triggered detector circuit. Inside will be having the clock will be inverted and it is given AND gate, and from the AND gate we will get a very narrow pulse, that is of nanosecond width. So the width of this narrow pulse generated by this edge detector circuit is equal to the propagation delay of this inverter. So the propagation delay of the inverter CLK to this inverter CL bar, the CLK bar what we got, that width of this pulse that we generated with the help of a positive edge detector depends on the propagation delay of the inverter. So from the figure we can easily observe this, if this is a CLK and this is a CLK bar, after AND operation we will get a very narrow pulse. This pulse, that is what we got, is called as a positive edge triggered pulse, and it is of very narrow. This is how the circuit symbol, that is having a positive edge triggers signal represent with the symbol like this, and it is a active high, that is why it is having no bubbles here in the S and R. The clock will be edge trigger, that is why the mark here in the block. Next, negative, this is also in the same manner, only thing that the representation of pulse will be downward arrow mark, that is from high to low, and same thing will occur here also with the difference. The difference will be the proportional delay, the propagation delay will be the difference of two clock input, that is why it is having a very narrow width of pulse, and it is represents with a bubble. What is we previously discussed about positive edge trigger, there is a one more bubble here, this will going to indicate a negative edge triggered flip flop. Next we move on to JK flip flop. JK flip flop here with the it is similar to RS, because RS flip flop is a base, After that, with the slight modification, we can able to make a different flip flops. So, in a JK flip flop with active high inputs, the output of the flip flop toggles. It goes to the other state for J is equal to K is equal to 1. So, what we are saying here, if we consider the JK flip flop with the active high inputs, and if J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, that condition will be the forbidden state for a high input JK flip flop or a high input RS flip flop. So, in the observing the truth table, we can able to find J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1 will be the forbidden state. This at this state it will going to toggle, so that we can say there will be no forbidden state. Whenever J is equal to K is equal to 1 will occur, the circuit will going to toggle. The output toggles for J is equal to K is equal to 0 in the case of flip flop with the active low inputs. So, these are the two difference we need to know in the JK flip flop. With active high input and active low input, the output will be toggle in the forbidden state. This is how we represent the JK flip flop. Using RS flip flop, we constructed JK flip flop where for S and R we have a 2 AND gate is given, and one if the input of the AND gate will be J and one of the input of AND gate is K, and one of the input is given to the Q bar, that is output, and another input of the another AND gate will be given to the of the K in NAND gate will be given to the K, that is the output. This is shows the different types of active high inputs and active low input and its truth tables. This is active, the very first thing is this one is active high input, this is active low input JK flip flop. With this is here we can observe from the figure, active high the set will be 1 1, so 1 0 will be the set state, that is 1 we got, 0 1 reset we got. So, one thing we observed here, the difference in the RS and JK is in the forbidden state, that is J is equal to K is equal to 1 and clock will be 1, Qn will be Qn bar, that is the circuit will be toggles here. In the previous state it will be Qn, but here it will go to toggle. So, that will be the complementary of the previous state. Similarly, we can observe here also in the toggle state, again it toggles from Qn to Qn bar. Next we move on to JK flip flop with preset and clear inputs. So, what is this preset and clear input that we are going to give for a JK flip flop? It is often necessary to clear a flip flop to a logic 0 state, that is Q1 is equal to 0, or preset it to a logic 1 state, that is Q1 is equal to 1. So, whenever the operation has to be performed in a logic circuit, we need to clear the previously operated functions. So, whatever the previously stored or previously performed function, we need to remove that before giving the fresh inputs. So, by that time we need to use this clear input. Whenever we want Q1 is equal to 0, our logic 0 state has to be get from the circuit, the Q1 will be 0, that condition is called as clear state, clear inputs. By giving inputs to the clear, we get the logic 0 output, and by giving input to the preset input, we will get the logic 1 state. The flip flop is clear, that is Q1 is equal to 0 whenever the clear input is 0 and the preset input is 1. This is important condition. Whenever clear is 0, we need to get Q1 is equal to 0, the clear input has to be 0 and the preset input has to be 1. Clear also called as reset, that is we get the logic 0 in the output. For getting logic 0 or Q1 is equal to 0 in the output, clear should be 0 and preset should be 1. Similarly, for to get the logic 1 at the output, the clear should be 1 and the preset should be 0. Next, we move on to the complete picture of how the symbolical representation with the using NAND gate and where we are going to give the preset and clear input with the truth table. So, the preset for a JK flip flop with preset and clear inputs is clearly mentioned here. This preset is given to the input of NAND gate and also to the input of the another NAND gate, that is which will going to give a output Q. So, again clear is also given to the input of first NAND gate and another input here on the opposite side. So, this is how we are going to connect the clear and as well as preset. So, what will going to happen, as already said, for clear it has to be clear should be 0 and preset will be 1, then we get the output Q and we should be 0. this is what we will get the output according to our definition. Q1 should be 0 when clear is 0 and output preset will be 1, and another logical 1 output state will be achieved when clear is equal to 1 and preset is equal to 0. That will also appear here. Whenever clock is not applied, what happen if clock is applied? If clock is 1 1 1, then we are going to give 1 1 for preset and clock, both will be 1, and the circuit will going to perform the what actually the circuit has to perform, that will be appeared in the output, that is Q1 for 1 0. This is having a logic high input JK flip flop, active high input JK flip flop, that is why 1 0 we will get set and 0 1 reset. Next, master slave flip flop. Whenever the width of the pulse clocking the flip flop is greater than the propagation delay of the flip flop, the change in state of the output is not reliable. That is what? So, the pulse width from the output may be greater than what will be the input. So, the input pulse will be having a pulse width that will be propagate than whenever the width of the pulse clocking the flip flop is greater than the propagation delay of the flip flop. So, the propagation delay will be lesser. So, the clock pulse that we are going to input in the clock terminal, that will be having a more, that is greater than this propagation delay. So, that whatever the states or changes that occurs in the flip flop, that is not reliable one, because the propagation delay will be vary, it is not actually meant to the clock input. So, in the case of edge trigger flip flop, this pulse width would be the great trigger pulse width generated by the edge detector portion of the flip flop and not the pulse width of the input clock signal. So, that is why this phenomena is referred to as a race problem. So, whatever the pulse width that we get from the pulse detector circuit portion, that is not the pulse width of the input clock signal. Actually, it is not the pulse width of the input clock signal. So, this will happen. So, that is why we can't able to rely on the changes of the flip flop. So, this condition or this problem is called as racing problem. So, as the propagation delays are normally very small, so the likelihood of the occurrence of the race condition is reasonably high in this case. Next, we move on to master slave flip flop. In the master slave circuit, there will be a two flip flop. One is the first flip flop is called here we consider the JK master slave flip flop. One is master circuit, the first one, another one is a slave flip flop. This type of flip flop we are going to use a clock, when the clock will going to enables one of this flip flop in a particular condition. So, whenever we want to, we will enable this master flip flop, the slave will be disabled. Whenever the slave is enabled, the master will be disabled. The master slave flip flop will actually work similar to the JK flip flop, that what we discussed previously, with a clear with 0 1 will be there, then we get the clear will be 0, and similarly with the active high input, here we consider the JK will be active high input. So, 1 0 will be the set, 0 1 will be the 0 1 and 1 1 with the toggle output, and whatever in this condition the master will be having enabled whenever the clock input is high, the master will be enabled, and this clock will be 0 here, that will be given to the slave. So, this slave will be 0 at that condition. Whenever the clock input is low, this master will be disabled, the slave will be activated. When the slave is activated, actually the whatever the information present in the master is transformed, and also whatever the input that we are giving to the JK input for the master will doesn't affect anything, because there will be no output in the master. This is how the master slave flip flop works. Next, the last type of flip flop, that is D flip flop. It is a very simple flip flop. It is also called as delay flip flop and can be used to provide the temporary storage of one bit. Only one bit that we can store with the help of D flip flop with a particular delay. When the clock is active, the data bit, that is 0 or 1 present at the D input is transferred to the output. So, but only thing here we need to consider is the delay. Whatever the input that we are going to give, that is present in the D input, that will be stored. It may be 0 or 1 with a delay. The data transfer from D input to Q output occurs on the negative going. high to low transition of the clock input. When negative going, whenever the negative going is occurs, then only D will be occurs in the Q, because we consider from high to low. Here the clock, whenever the edge of the clock is from high to low, the D will be occur in the Q, that is 0. This is what we mention as a with the negative edge trigger D flip flop. The D input can acquire new status when the clock is inactive, which is the time period between successive high to low transitions. The D flip flop can provide a maximum delay of 1 clock period, that is main condition, that is a delay will be only 1 clock condition, 1 clock period will be the delay in D flip flop. So, let us come to the end of this session. In this session we discussed about different types of flip flop, that is RS and JK. The only difference with the RS and JK is in RS we could find the set state in 0 and 1 for active low, and reset state in for 1 and 0 of S and R respective inputs. And also if we find the toggle, we find the forbidden state in the RS flip flop, but in JK there will be no forbidden. In that mode of operation, if J and K is equal to 1, there will be a toggle. So this kind of flip flop is called as J and JK flip flop. And also we discussed about master and slave, how we can enable and disable master and slave, and what are the problem that we faced previously that can be overcome with the help of master slave, that is race problem can be overcome with the help of master and slave flip flop. And finally we discussed about D flip flop, which is also called as delay flip flop. In this delay flip flop, whatever the output that we given to D, that is input D, will be appear on the output with the particular delay. These are the questions of this session. What is a sequential circuit? Explain the concept of RS flip flop. Differentiate between RS and JK flip flop. What is a preset and clear input in JK flip flop? How does the master and slave JK flip flop works? The references are talkingelectronics.com, Digital Fundamentals by Thomas L. Floyd, Digital Electronics by R. P. Jain. This ends the session. Thank you.